This is a second stimulus check update. Joe Biden is pushing for a quick stimulus deal to happen during this lame duck session. Leaders from the Republicans and leaders from the Democrats are starting to get together and revive new stimulus negotiations. There's been a $455 billion request by the Fed to be used for stimulus and stimulus checks, and one senator is pushing for the $2,000 a month stimulus check. I hope you're having a great day so far. I know times are really hard, especially during this Thanksgiving week. I just want to let you know that you are in my prayers as well as the rest of the country during these difficult times. All right, so let's get into it. So Joe Biden is pushing for this quick stimulus to happen during the lame duck session. More specifically, there needs to be an emergency assistance and aid during this lame duck session to help families, to help small businesses. The lame duck session refers to from election time until inauguration, which is right now. There's no more room for delay, and we need to move forward as quickly as possible. So regardless of who the president is, whether Trump or Biden, the president doesn't have any power in regards to stimulus. They have no control. All they could do is basically say that they want a quick stimulus deal. So this, unfortunately, is no more than words. Basically what it comes down to is the Senate, and Bernie Sanders is calling the Senate the do-nothing Senate. So what he said in a recent tweet, the American people can't afford to wait any longer. Every working class American needs $2,000 a month. Every unemployed American needs $600 per week. Every American needs health care as a human right. No one in America should go hungry or homeless. The do-nothing Senate must act. So I agree with a lot of these things, especially the $2,000 a month and the $600 a week. That could greatly help out so many Americans. Now, the one thing I don't like about this is that Bernie Sanders is a senator himself, and he's talking bad about the Senate. There's nothing more that he could do than tweet. Unfortunately, the Senate is still in a gridlock right now, and to make matters even worse, the Senate is on another vacation. So according to the Senate.gov website, this week of Thanksgiving, November 23rd to the 27th, Senate is on a state work period, also known as a recess, but might as well just be called paid vacation time off, or paid time off, a vacation, whatever you want to say. They're making hundreds of thousands of dollars to do nothing. They're using our tax money to just go on vacation after vacation, and then they have another vacation in a few weeks. If you look at this schedule right here, it's just ridiculous how many vacations they've actually gone on without doing a single thing. You would think that, especially now during the holiday season, they would try to work harder to pass some stimulus for the American people during the holiday season, but they are not, unfortunately. In my opinion, both Republicans and Democrats are holding off on a stimulus deal, seeing what will happen with the Georgia runoff. The Georgia runoff will determine who the Senate goes to. If it goes to the Republicans or the Democrats, this could change the whole dynamics of how a stimulus deal happens. If it goes to the Democrats, that means the Democrats will control the Senate, the House, and the presidency, which means they could pass any amount of stimulus bill that they want. So they may want to hold off for that. In regards to the Republicans, they want to still pass that $500 billion stimulus, but there may be more money that they can use. So Steve Mnuchin asked the Fed to return $455 billion in unspent COVID, which could be used for stimulus money. So this money was supposed to be used to help out businesses as well as other areas for the stimulus relief, but it did not. So Steve Mnuchin said, "I'm requesting the Federal Reserve return the unused funds to the Treasury. This will allow Congress to reappropriate $455 billion, consisting in $429 billion in excess Treasury funds for the Federal Reserve facility and $26 billion in unused Treasury direct loan funds." So this money can be used for stimulus, which could greatly help out a lot of people. To give you an idea of what $455 billion could do, if we look at what the most recent Republican and Democrat plan cost to give out $1,200 stimulus checks, even on the more expensive side with the Democrats, $413 billion would give out $1,200 stimulus checks with $1,200 for dependents. And this is the Republicans on the right side over here. So $455 billion is more than enough to give out stimulus checks. So hopefully this time around, the Republicans in the Senate won't be as stingy and can include stimulus checks in their offer, because they are actually planning to have a targeted stimulus bill with the help of the Democrats. So what was recently said is Steve Mnuchin also said, I can tell you Mark Meadows and I will be speaking with Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy this morning, and we are going to come up with a plan to sit down with Pelosi and Schumer and try to get a targeted bill done for the people that really need it. And hopefully the Democrats will work with us. So the Republicans, it's almost like the stimulus saga is continuing. It's episode 5. We have the same characters, maybe a few different characters, but the Republicans and the Democrats are trying to renew the stimulus negotiations, but we're still in the same place as before. Republicans want it really low, Democrats want it really high, and no one is budging, unfortunately. Governor Cuomo of New York told Biden that he would like $500 billion in stimulus needs to bail out states, not just New York, but many other states as well, which the Republicans won't go for. Over the past 3 weeks, President Trump has been silent on stimulus. The only one thing he did was a tweet saying that the next stimulus should be big and focused. His attention has mainly been for the election results and a lot of the litigations that he has throughout many different states. Here's the clip. He just had a press conference. Play that clip right now.
Pharma and their army of lawyers, lobbyists, and bought and paid for politicians. But I've been loyal to the special interests. I've been loyal to our patients and people that need drugs, prescription drugs, and devoted myself to completely fighting for the American people. You see that? This is not an easy thing to do. Big Pharma ran millions of dollars of negative advertisements against me during the campaign, which I won, by the way, but, we'll find that out. Almost 74 million votes. We had Big Pharma against us. We had the media against us. We had big tech against us. We had a lot of dishonesty against us. But Big Pharma alone ran millions and millions of dollars in ads. In fact, I looked at it. I said, who is it? I've never seen anything quite like it because I told them I'm going to have to do this. I was put here to do a job. And Pfizer and others were way ahead on vaccines. You wouldn't have a vaccine if it weren't for me for another 4 years because FDA would have never been able to do what they did, what I forced them to do. And Pfizer and others even decided to not assess the results of their vaccine. In other words, not come out with a vaccine until just after the election. That's because of what I did with favored nations and these other elements, instead of their original plan to assess the data in October. So they were going to come out in October, but they decided to delay it because of what I'm doing, which is fine with me because, frankly, this is just a very big thing, a very big thing. What I'm doing here, I don't know if anyone's going to appreciate it. These people can't even believe it. Alex, even you can't believe it, can you? Look at you. So they waited and waited and waited, and they thought they'd come out with it a few days after the election. And it would have probably had an impact. Who knows? Maybe it wouldn't have. I'm sure they would have found the ballot someplace, the Democrats and the group. These corrupt games will not deter us from doing what is right for the American people. And I will always put American patients first. And I think it can never be shown better than what I'm doing today. Already we successfully lowered drug prices for the first time in 51 years.
Let me know down in the comments below who is going to be inaugurated president in January of 2021. Is it Trump or Biden? I know I keep asking this a lot, but I'm still getting mixed comments. It's not one over the other. So I'm really curious what you think. Let me know down in the comments below. Chris Christie ripped into the Trump legal team saying that it was a national embarrassment. So basically what he said is that the president has had the opportunity to access the courts. If you've got the evidence of fraud, present it. He then said, this is outrageous conduct by any lawyer. They allege fraud outside the courtroom, but when they go inside the courtroom, they don't plead fraud. They don't argue fraud. A lot of other Republicans are starting to speak out saying that Joe Biden is the president-elect. Senator Pat Toomey, Senator Barrasso, a lot of Republicans are now going against Trump and not supporting him anymore, saying that Joe Biden is the president. Moving on, or president-elect, moving on to COVID news. So it seems that cases are still really high. We had at a really high spike, 198,000, almost 200,000 there, then 171,000, and then 141,000. A lot of people are predicting that there's going to be a huge spike over Thanksgiving. That's all the stimulus news I have for you today. To cheer up your mood a little bit, here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Belle. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you the one thing that you should do. When you do something, and you don't learn, you will be a better person. If you learn, then you'll grow up and be more better at things that you learned. That's all I want to give the information to you. Guys, see you in the next tip of the day, and be safe. See you in the next tip of the day.
If you want to keep the positive vibes going and get in a better mood, I highly recommend clicking this video right over here. It'll make you feel so much better. It's on my other channel, Wise Vibes. It's by Bob Proctor, teaching you how to have a better life and create happiness in this moment right now. So stop watching the negative news for a few minutes, click this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.